month on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, hopefully, because this is how we go. I'm going to look at you, and then I'm going to look at you, and then we're all going to look at each other, and it's going to be so fancy you just never knew. At least this is what I'm trying to do with technology at this time. Hi, I'm tired. Well, actually, I'm Erin, aka Queenie. And each month I pull a bunch of cards, which kind of tells the story of the month, potentially. The energetic blueprint or outline, as it were, of the month. This time, we're going to do October. I know you're thrilled. I am. Anyway, so we start out with the overview card, and I always use the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud, which the back looks like this. I love these cards. I've had them since 1999. This is actually two decks in one, because when the first deck wore out, that one's wearing out. I bought a second deck and put them both together. So, hey. And yes, YouTube, welcome to the live chat. Behave, if there's anybody in there. So, the overview card of the month. Oh, interesting. Well, I think this is kind of funny that it gets to be this for this month when it's the spooky month. Sorry about that. I dropped a book on the floor. The spooky month of October, we have Gawacha. There we go. Yeah, Gawacha is playing peekaboo. Gawacha is, for me, my interpretation of this card is that this month has the potential, it's up to us whether it's spooky or not. It's up to us whether we are consistently focusing on the thoughts that scare ourselves half to death, or focusing on more positive thoughts. This is not, again, I will say, it's not about erasing negative thoughts. It's not about toxic positivity and picking on yourself if you can't, if you're not thinking positive. That's not what this is about. This is about shifting your focus. So this month, having Gawacha as the overview of the month is kind of letting us know that we may need to address some stinking thinking this month, and the ways that we worry ourselves all the time about things. There's a lot of being able to shift the what ifs to what if something good is going to happen, as opposed to what if something bad happens. That's kind of that. I'm going to look in the book, because sometimes I get Gawacha mixed up with another card. But they're both, oh yeah, they're both kind of talking about the same thing. So this card says it is sudden shock, unexpected events, rude awakenings, trip ups. So here, I dropped that again. So what I'm talking about is that this month there is a possibility of some surprises. And some of these surprises here, I'm thinking that the rude awakenings thing is more a rude awakening of, you have known that this was probably coming. You might have ignored signs. You might have wanted to put it off. You might have put something off until the last minute that probably would have been better to take care of right away. And so, boo! It's like, okay, I'm getting that phrase, that old phrase, oh, the chickens are coming home to roost. there is a possibility of some things like that. So prepare. Sometimes you can't prepare for sudden shocks, but I just, what I really think about this is that sometimes we put off things that we need to take care of or that we need to face, and then they come to a head, and it's almost like life forces us to face them. And it could be good things as well as bad things, but it feels like this month is there are things that maybe we've put off dealing with that are going to be coming up, and you're just going to have to deal with them this month. And that's why it's like the Gawacha's got, oh no, really? Oh no. But that's the influence of the whole reading. That's kind of the overview. So the overview is that things that you have been putting off are going to need to get completed this month, or else you're going to get a little bit of a few surprises. It's going to bite you in the ass. It feels like a bite you in the ass. So there's potential of that. This isn't awful. This isn't this doomsday thing, but it is something. It's something to be aware of. All right. So let's find another card. Oh, earlier tonight when I was getting all the cards out so that I could pick cards, um, the Goddess Oracle cards totally tipped over and fell on the floor. And I said, ladies, I hear you would like to be part of this evening. And basically, they said yes, obviously. I mean, a lot of times they do that. You know, synchronicity is a very interesting thing. And being able to tell and discern when to go with it and when not to is kind of a nice thing, too. So we're shuffling. Let's see what our support card is. I mean, obviously, the overview is a little bit not as pleasant and a little bit sketchy. So let's see if what sort of support that we have. Let's pick her. Oh. I don't mean to laugh, but I do mean to laugh. Okay, so the card that I pulled for the support card, you on YouTube can see it already just about. This is Yamaya. Yamaya. And it says surrender. So, what do you do when you've been putting off something for a long time and then the chickens come home to roost? Sometimes you just have to surrender to it. You just have to surrender and you have to face it. Yamaya, my my knowledge of this card and this particular goddess. Now, understand that everyone has the masculine and feminine within them to varying degrees, and we dance with them back and forth, and it's, you know, everyone has the potential to be gender fluid, really. And so, Yamaya is the aspect of the goddess. She is the goddess of the oceans. And in the Yoruba tradition. And a long time ago, I've been fascinated with all the many different religions and different mythologies and different belief systems. And so, and for a time in the 90s, I was pretty fascinated with and really felt connected to that tradition. So Yamaya is, oh, it's Y, so these are in alphabetical order. Let's look at what, here she is. So I'm going to read you about her mythology. Okay, pronounced Imaja. Imaja. Okay, I had it pronounced in the Yoruba tradition, in the type of Santeria that my friend Petra back in San Francisco had practiced. We call her Yamaya, but it's everybody pronounces it differently. Okay, so is a Santeria African Caribbean goddess of the sea who gave birth to 14 Orishas. So she's the mother or spirits, originally known as Yamoya. the West African Yoruban River Mother. She also came to Brazil, where she is known as Imanja. Imanya. At her celebration on the summer solstice, her worshippers arrive at her shorelines dressed in white and launch little boats loaded with flowers, candles, and gifts. Sometimes she accepts the offerings and prayers, and sometimes she sends them back. It is said that those who come to Mother Yamaya and surrender to her find that their troubles dissolve in the waters of her embrace. So, if we've got troubles, maybe surrendering them would be a very good thing. And so, the meaning of the card, as she is our support card this month for the sudden shocks and rude awakenings that Gawacha shows up and brings. And actually, to be fair, remember I said that these are things that we've probably been putting off dealing with that are just going to need to be dealt with in October. What it feels like is that we're doing cleanup so that things are a lot clearer by the winter solstice. So they're a lot cleaner. So we are not taking the extra that we don't need, that we no longer need, into the new year with us. Okay? The meaning of the card, Yamaya comes swimming into your life. It signals the time for surrender. Are you carrying more than you can handle comfortably? Do you think that you must do it all by yourself? Have you come up against a wall and feel the only way to get to the other side is by breaking through? Surrender doesn't mean giving up. Rather, you are giving over, asking for assistance so you can do what you want to do. Wholeness is nurtured when you realize that the only way through some situations is to surrender and open to something greater. To surrender and open to something greater. The act of surrendering is one of opening and trust. When we open and trust, we allow the goddess energy to work with us to achieve what we need. Okay, so open and surrender to something greater. That really kind of got me. That phrase really got me. Because there's this affirmation or this kind of closing thing when you're doing like a verbal spell or something, when you're asking for something, and it reminded me of this or something better appears in my life. So it must be, or so mote it be. This or something better appears in my life. So must it be. It's a little bit different but no, it is the same. Because basically what that is saying is that, yes, I am asking for this something. But yes, I am also surrendering that something if there is something better. Hi, Sharon. If there is something better. So this or something better. I am asking for this or something better to be in my life. I surrender the this for something better if something better is available to me. That is kind of a surrender. I mean, surrendering is not about being weak. Surrendering is being strong and being open to allowing your community to help you, allowing your releasing control over outcomes because you want to have the best outcome, believing and having faith in the best outcome as opposed to what you think is right. Really opening up and surrendering to what is actually right and true and your path. So that's kind of what she's swimming in, because she's like a pretty mermaid. What she's swimming in to say. Now, I used to have a little card, and I think my daughter still has it, that had a little Yamaya card, and she was this woman in this beautiful blue dress. Or was she in a white dress with a blue background? I'm trying to remember. Anyway, I got that. We had that card for years. So, you know, you get your little icon cards and stuff, and you put them up on your altars. I'm sure I had her. Anyway, she is the mother. She is the nurturing. She's the one that had the Orishas, which means she's the mother of all of them. They call Obatala, he was the father. And anyway, I'm going to get this mythology partially wrong because it's been years since I've looked it up. So, but I know that when I had a reading, a shell reading with Madrina um, all that time ago, when I was questioning whether or not I should pursue that path or whether that path was right for me or whatever, they were like, no, it's not right for you, but you still get to, I'm still being urged to tell you who you're a child of, because you get who you're a child of, and I'm a child of Obatala. And that it made a lot of sense, and you guys can look it up if you want. But we're going to go back to the reading. All right, so our support card is Yamaya. Our overview card is Gawacha. A little surprise, little I mean, if it's really intense, it might be the consequences of your actions. It happens. All right, so we're going to go with, oh yeah, of course we're going to do this. We're going to go with the cards of the 3 different parts of the month like we usually do. And I've got the Starman deck, the deck that was inspired by David Bowie. Oh, I've got all these here. Hold on, hold on. Oh, that's why. All right. Here's what the back of the deck looks like. I separated the major arcana from the minor arcana because we want to deal with the big stuff. The major arcana represents your soul evolution or you know, big picture stuff, and the minor arcana represents more of your day-to-day things. So I separate the major arcana from the minor arcana on these just so that we can get like the big movements for the month. What are the big movements? Not bowel movements. Yeah, I did do that. Yeah. I'm a psychic, and I think farts are funny and toilet humor. I'm sorry. Anyway, so let's shuffle. Back to that. Let's shuffle and go back to the beginning of the month. This is from October 1st until the 12th. That would be the Chariot. Interesting. October 12th to the 21st. That would be the Emperor. Okay. I'm going to show you these. Don't worry. October 22nd to the 31st. To Samhain. The High Priestess. Very good. Okay. All right. So, the beginning of the month, we've got the Chariot. What's kind of interesting about the Chariot card is that, and having that at the beginning of the month, is that's kind of letting us know that we are kind of pulling everything together and getting more focused to move forward. The Chariot card is about developing mastery over your mind and your emotions. And it is also, okay, so it'll be kind of fast forward movement. So therefore, I don't know, I've got to close my eyes for this, but I'm going to close my eyes for this. Sorry, just a minute. Okay, so so it feels like the beginning of the month is going to feel like we've got some sort of momentum going. And that momentum is great, but it might feel like it's going a little fast, which is partially because of the things that we're kind of dragging behind our chariot, which relate to the Gawacha Rude Awakening card. Um, I know it's only a couple of days till the end of the month, but if you notice anything that might be hindering you, and if you can find a way to release it during the full moon, which is this Friday, that would probably be a really good idea. Because the chariot is about like getting focused, developing mastery over your mind and emotions. One of the beasts is your mind, and one of the beasts is your emotions. And the charioteer has a really great balance of that, and so they can focus and move forward without any hindrances. And this guy has a sword, and that sword is inspiration. That sword is about taking inspired action. So there'll be some movement at the beginning of the month, and it may feel like it's going a little fast, but it also might feel a little different than before, because it's not like you're barreling into something. But I would really pay attention to the it just feels like there are some things that we should have let go of, that we're kind of dragging behind the chariot, which might affect our gas mileage. You know, might just affect our gas mileage, don't you know? Um, but that's the beginning of the month. The charioteer also, it is about, as we're moving forward, it is about he's wearing armor across his chest, and this card relates to Cancer, the zodiac sign Cancer. And this is about like needing to protect your emotions so that you can move forward. So that's how you get that balance, is that you're able to kind of protect protect your tender parts while you're moving forward. And that's kind of the beginning of the month. Wonder if I'll have to shut my eyes for the Emperor card too. We'll see. All right, so the middle of the month, so that would be the 13th to the 21st, is the Emperor. I'm showing YouTube. So there. Okay, so the Emperor card, well, it feels like we've had the forward movement, but now we need to build some sort of foundation, because that's what the Emperor card is about. It's card number 4 of the major arcana, and it is about building a solid foundation. It's about getting grounded. And so, yeah, we've had some forward focus movement. Maybe the charioteer has brought some of the tools and some of the building materials to to this emperor in the middle of the month, and now you're building a firm foundation. And I think this has been the first month in quite a while that we actually feel like it's okay to build that foundation. It really feels like, well, it feels like I haven't gotten the Emperor card in quite a while. If I have, you can tell me that I have, but I don't feel like I've gotten the Emperor card in quite a while. And the Emperor, having that be the middle of the month, I'm kind of relieved. I feel relieved by that card. I feel relieved because it feels grounding. And I don't think I've had a lot of things, I don't think I've experienced a lot of things that felt grounded and creating stability for quite some time. And so the middle of the month, I feel like we're going to be creating some stability. So maybe we'll get that potential little shock and awe and rude awakening over with at the beginning of the month. And then this middle of the month, we're creating some stability, because the Emperor creates stability. He is, and it's also like we've got Yamaya, who's the support card, is like the divine feminine, the watery, primordial, nurturing, smushy, surrender to me, feel safe with me kind of feeling. And the Emperor is, feel safe with me. I will build this structure to you. This is my gift to you. My gift to you is grounding and confidence and stability. And that's what that's the gift we're getting in the middle of the month, is grounding and confidence and stability. And I'm sorry I have to look at two different cameras. I feel a little self-conscious about it, but until I get another special fancy setup, or if it becomes necessary for me to get a fancy setup, I will. Um, but that's the middle of the month. Now, from the 22nd to the 31st, now that we've created a solid foundation, a stable foundation, now we can go back into our feelings and sensitivity and intuition with the high priestess, which I think is perfect for from the 22nd to the 31st, because we're going into Samhain, which is the Celtic New Year, which is about the veils being thinner, having more access to your intuition if you choose to. And that having the high priestess card is all about that. The high priestess card is pregnant with wisdom, pregnant with knowledge, has access to all the wisdom and knowledge. And, wow, this just in. I think that sometimes we get like what a high priestess is wrong. Um, I don't think that we've been told what it is. And the high priestess is not only about rituals and intuition and connecting with her intuition and being like housing, her body houses all the knowledge of the universe, all of it. The other thing is that being a priestess or a priest is about finding, how do I say it? How do I say it? It's right there. It's not the ritual in every day. Ah, bingo. Sorry. Woo. Having reverence. Reverence. That's the right word. It sounds weird to me right now. Having reverence for everything that we do, every step that we take, every move that we make. It's not a police song. No, you're not stalking someone. But to be able to have a reverence for nature, a reverence for every part of your body and your psyche and every part of this planet. The high priestess is having these moments of understanding that we are just spinning particles bumping up against other spinning particles and calling it our reality. That's what happens with the veils thin, baby. Anyway, so she's ushering us out. And the only reason that she's able to usher us out of the month of October in such a beautiful, connected, wise sort of way is because the Emperor comes in the middle of the month and creates a foundation so that she can kind of launch off from it. Very interesting. All right. So can I find you I have? Can I find you I have? Oh no, I think they're in the other room, so we'll have to try a different set of cards. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna sing about it. What's this? This is my favorite. We've got the animal spirit animal oracle. The cat cards, the little cat spirit cards, are all the way in the other room. So I'm sorry. We're doing the animal spirit cards. And I'll find another way. So let's find out what the animal spirit support is for this month, what the theme is for this month. September has been quite a month, guys. Not awful, just interesting. All right. Before I read the book meaning, I'm going to talk about the card. Oh! Okay, this is nice. I like this. That's interesting. It's kind of different than a lot of the cards that we've been pulling, but I like it. Peacock spirit. Let it shine. Let it shine. So while all of this is happening with the consequences of our actions or non-actions, needing to surrender what is so that we can be open to what could be. The chariot moving us to a point where we have all the tools that we need to build a solid foundation, which is the Emperor, and creating a safe space for the High Priestess to experience and embody the wisdom that she holds, that we hold. And then we have the Peacock spirit, which is about letting it shine, which is not hiding anymore. And maybe not hiding anymore is what puts us in a position to where, there might be where the Gawacha comes in and goes, yeah, there's still this to deal with. Yeah. It's not saying not so fast. It's still saying, shine on, you crazy diamond, regardless. Because that's what we do. We just keep going, All right, so let's look and see. This is what I'm saying that the card means. What does it say? So, Peacock spirit, let it shine. When is the last time you shook a tail feather and shined your light for all to see? When is it? Tell me. Show me. Within each of us is a peacock spirit yearning for expression, and you are called now to show the world the gorgeous creature that you are. You are a manifestation of spirit. Come out of the shadows, Peacock spirit says, and show your true colors so that others may be inspired to express their own exquisiteness. Dance if you remember that you are made Dance as if you remember that you are made of stardust and grace, filled with the life force energy and sparkling light. See, it's kind of what I was talking about the High Priestess. Have reverence for life. Have reverence that we're these spinning energetic particles that combine into these forms that, make up our reality. And how cool is that? You are a channel of divine love, and your dance is one of a kind. Catch the light and help it to shimmer, and dance in celebration of your good fortune of being right here and right now. Spirit wants you to be joyful so that others may get up and dance along with you. Okay, this is pretty cool. And by the way, if you're ever interested in this, it's by Colette Baron Reed. And it's a really beautiful deck. I mean, look at the, now that's weird that it is a heart beaming out from the inside of the peacock's throat. That's fancy. But it's beautiful. They're really beautiful cards. All right, what else are we gonna? Let's pull one of these. I'm going to pull one of these cards that I got on Etsy. All right. I need to do this more often. Pardon me. Okay, I need a sip. The YouTube people can see the table, and the Facebook people cannot. So I'll put you here. Deep breath. Deep breath. I always forget to do it. I used to really be a good deep breather. And then I just forgot. Do you know what I think happened? Sometimes if we experience so much and we have these feelings that are so rough, like rough to get through, we kind of stop breathing because we hold them tight. We hold them tight to us, like as if letting them out is going to be the worst thing that we could possibly do, when the best thing we could possibly do is to breathe deep and surrender them. So maybe this deep breath card is hanging out with Yamaya going, surrender that shit. Seriously, surrender that shit. All right. Let's pull a New Wave Tarot card. Just, for shits and giggles. I know. Swearing on YouTube. Swearing on Facebook. I swear. Okay. This is the, oh, I just mixed them all together, didn't I? Oh, well. I had the major arcana separate from the minor arcana, and I just jumbled them all together. This is from Last Crafts, and it is called the New Wave Tarot. And I kind of like it. Like some of the people that they picked, I would have picked different people, but hey, what can you do? I didn't create the deck, somebody else did, and I need to defer and surrender to it. Right? Who's helping us? What's going on? Oh, who is this? I honestly don't know who this is. So one of you guys can look at her and tell me what singer this is. This is the Nine of Swords, and the swords are microphones. And she has 1, 2, 3, 4. She has 6 roses on there, on her chest. So, Nine of Swords. That in the tarot is nines are related to the Hermit card in the major arcana, and it is about kind of the stopping time before everything opens up with the 10, or the surrender of the 10, the ending and opening to a new beginning of the 10. 9 is probably kind of what I was talking about when we're holding things that we have accumulated thus far. And swords is about boundaries and maybe sharp words and clarity and like mental stuff, but it's also about communication, and it can be about the more harsh emotions. So it is possible this Nine of Swords is talking about what I was just talking about kind of holding things in and being afraid to express, and kind of also finding some sort of security or sense of control in holding these things back. Like it makes you feel like you're in charge of something, because they feel like they would be so out of control if you release them in some way, or express them in some way. Oh yeah, swords. Communication. Yeah. Speaking. Talking about them. Maybe having some therapy. Maybe trusting a good friend to listen to you without judgment. But the Nine of Swords is kind of like, yeah, we're kind of holding on to this for right now. We've we've started to feel very comfortable being wound up tight as a, you know, just tight as a drum, right tight. We're kind of comfortable with that. But that is not going to do for this month because that might, you might have to encounter Gawacha because of that. All right, let's pull another one of those because that's just kind of, yeah, this is a situation. This is what we're working with. La 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 la. I'm not letting go. La la la. Okay. Oh, cute. We have erasure here. The Eight of Discs. Okay, so what will help that? What will help that? They are, it shows them studying, but what the Eight of Discs, eight is related to the Strength card, which is about accepting yourself regardless. The Strength card looks on most tarot decks looks like a woman putting her head into the mouth of a lion. The lion represents her id or her primal urges, and she is accepting and trusting that all her feelings are valid and that she is valid and that she will not hurt herself that way. So that's kind of what that's the eight card. But discs, pentacles is about stability and security and manifestation. It's about grounding. And so what this okay, I'm getting the phrase, the thing that will help us with this Nine of Swords and the holding on to those is the is self-knowledge and acceptance of self. That stuff is going to be there. We are walking bits of light and shadow. They are always going to be there. There's always going to be light. There's always going to be shadow in there. There's always going to be parts of ourselves that maybe we wish weren't hanging around. But there's also these brilliant, brilliant parts of ourselves. But the parts of ourselves that we maybe wish weren't hanging around are valid too. And learning how to accept them so that they can become teachers and so that they can become something that's part of your deep inherent magic as opposed to something that holds you back is probably the biggest lesson of this month. So anyway, like I said, these cards, the New Wave deck, I'm not as happy with. I don't find as much of a connection with as I do the Fairies Oracle, but it is kind of cool to pull them once in a while and see what a new wave artist comes up. All right, so what we're gonna do here is, where are you? Oh, there you are. I think we need another Fairies Oracle card to really kind of round everything out. What's gonna ground the whole thing? Peacock Spirit is pretty awesome. And I love what the Chariot and the Emperor and the High Priestess were talking to us about. Let's see. What is the card that's going to ground us? What is the energy that's going to ground us this month? Oh, God, I love this little guy. You guys, we got one of my favorite cards. It'll be the Retriever. See him? They are precious. They are precious. So here's the nice thing. What's going to ground us during this month aside from the emperor building nice foundations so we can get all high priestessy on our butts, is Ilby the retriever brings back something that we had to, okay, because we make room when we let go of the things that no longer serve us. Ilby the retriever comes in and brings something back to us that we thought was lost, that we thought we had to let go of. A dream, a wish, a thing, a person, a something that we thought that we had to let go of, that we didn't, that it was really hard to let go of. Ilby the retriever brings it back to us in maybe a slightly different form because it might be okay for us to choose it now. And that's what Ilby does. So with all of this stuff, you're being asked to surrender. And again, I'm going to say the phrase, whatever it is that you want to have happen, asking for this or something better to come to you. This or something better is kind of the theme of the month. This or something better. Be open to surrendering what it is that you think you want for something even infinitely better. That's the theme. Yeah, maybe Gawacha is there trying to get you to pay attention to what you need to let go of, or something that you've needed to deal with for a while, kind of facing the music a little bit. But this month can be something better. It can lead you towards something better. That's not that bad. That's not that bad, right? It's not that bad. In fact, it's pretty awesome, and especially when you have Ilby the retriever, who is my favorite little guy. He's my favorite because he's so cute. So cute. The little antennas and that little look on his face. Oh my gosh. And that little gift he's got. He's like, do you remember that wish that you had? Do you remember that thing that you lost, or that dream that you had that you really wanted? Do you remember that? Well, here it is in a slightly different form that might suit you now. Do you think you might want it? Do you think you might want to be able to receive it now? I went and got it for you because he's a good retriever. Maybe you lost something, some physical thing, and all of a sudden you get the opportunity to receive a replacement, but even better than it was before. I think we're just being asked to be open. I think I could probably guarantee that that's what we're being asked to do every day when we wake up in the morning, is to be open to something better. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I know it hasn't really been an hour, but I feel like this is so nice and complete that, I don't want to mess it up. But I do have some things to say. There's a certain person whose birthday was yesterday. Bill, I'm talking to you, and I don't know that he is on, but I know that he watches it later. We have been friends since like 2006, and he is a total love bug and lives far away. Across the country. How dare he? Anyway, but his birthday was yesterday, so I'm going to sing a little happy birthday to Bill. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bill. Garden Gnome Assassin. What? Happy birthday to you. What's crazy is that was his nickname on MySpace. So that's how long I've known him. Anyway, I love you, Bill. Big hugs, big giant bear hugs and everything. So that was for Bill. Now, other things are, um, let's see, I don't know what else to say. Maybe the next time I do a live, maybe I'll do some singing. I'm not sure. We'll see. I've got a big weekend planned because we have a work function that is going to take up Friday and Saturday. And so, what's cool is the theme is classic Hollywood. So I certainly have some dresses to wear. So there will be some selfies posted on Facebook, of course, because that's just how I do. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you for the card of the week and around on the Facebook, on the TikTok, on the YouTube, everywhere. And don't forget, it'll be the Retriever because I was so thrilled that they showed up. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Bye, you guys. Love you.